All right, welcome everybody for joining us. Thank you for joining us on day 4 of Build with Mapbox. This is a coffee chat session all about partnering with Mapbox. I am your host, Marina Smith, and joining me today is Dan Ryan, our Senior Partner Development Manager. Now, this is a 30-minute session, relatively casual, conversational. We'd love to have your questions. There is the Q&A chat box available through Zoom. You can also use the chat. We'll be keeping an eye on there. We will save some time for audience Q&A. So please, as we go through the presentation content, add in your questions as we go, and then we'll turn to those. Also, if you do need captions available for translation, you can control those at the bottom of your Zoom window. So I think that's it for logistics. Now we'll start over to you, Dan, to get us started.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks, Marina, and welcome everybody. I think if you've spent some time in some of our other sessions around building with Mapbox, this will be similar, although this will be partnering with Mapbox to build with Mapbox kind of idea. So that we'll kind of expand upon that a little bit, and we'll touch on some ways that we've seen success with partners, some areas we're looking to expand upon, and hopefully welcome a bunch of questions, because as this is a coffee chat, I'd like to have it where we're talking back and forth and we're answering some questions, and I'm not just talking the whole time and not interacting and everything. And so we'll touch on cloud marketplaces, which I think you're seeing where we're going to start. We'll touch on resellers. So again, there's areas for where we've engaged with other organizations that have kind of been an extension or a channel of our sales teams. And then also system integrators, so companies that'll be building solutions that utilize Mapbox tools and services and things like that. And so we'll start with cloud marketplaces. And if most of you are familiar, there's the major cloud organizations across the ecosystem, the Amazons, the Microsoft Azures, Google. And why at Mapbox do we kind of look at that? It helps expand our global reach. And so, companies around the world are continuing to procure software through marketplaces, and certainly internationally they are doing those. And that mechanism is certainly growing beyond like this direct interaction where we at Mapbox are selling a solution to a customer. They're procuring and buying through marketplace. Recently, Amazon commissioned a study from Forrester that touched on the amount of money that's running through marketplaces is in 2023 was about $15 billion. And then as we get into 2025, upwards of $45 to $50 billion worth of software and services and the like are being procured through marketplaces, helping us grow internationally. So companies around the world are transacting in these marketplaces. So it's helping us provide some growth opportunities. And then there's the currency, so buying in their local currency. There's tax implications and things like that. All of those become a lot more streamlined through running things through marketplaces. And so those things help us become more successful with our customers and things. Simplified sales and procurement. So there's a lot of time that's invested into closing and getting a customer onboarded. When one of our customers come and start to trial our services, they want to start and get moving quickly. And so running some of those through a marketplace helps procurement teams close things faster. The legal process is a little faster. Security requirements, are generally managed better through some of the marketplaces because of all the processes that many of the cloud marketplaces already have to adapt to and manage. So we're able to benefit from those. And then there's the idea of co-selling with the sales teams in the marketplaces. So the idea of partnering with the likes of an AWS seller or an Azure marketplace seller. And so they're the ones that are have feet on the ground with these customers and know them, know their technology stack and things like that. And so we can partner with the cloud sellers and even their engineers to help develop the ideal solution for our customers and things like that. So there's a lot of benefits to managing and running our services through these marketplaces. We currently have our service and listings in AWS, and then also in Snowflake. And so beyond just the major cloud providers, you're seeing other marketplaces that are growing and have expanded into allowing us to reach other markets. And again, as I touched on, this simplified and sped up procurement process there. And so and we can touch on if there are questions as we get into the end of around marketplaces and things like that we're doing. But yeah, let's move into resellers and how we look at leveraging and managing and partnering with resellers. And so this idea of working with resellers, we have a tremendous sales team that goes out and we get into varying areas of the world and in various markets and industries, but that reach it can only go so far. And so we look at reseller partners as being this extension of our direct sales team that helps us get into additional regions of the world, different countries and things like that. And then other reasons that we've worked with resellers is around their expertise in a specific vertical. And so you might see somebody that's very strong and has a lot of industry expertise in retail, or as I see their transportation and logistics. So leveraging those relationships that they've already built up that we can also partner and create a mutually beneficial program that both the reseller takes advantage of having the ability to sell Mapbox services, but then we also benefit from being able to get into other markets and other industries that might take us a little bit longer because of just normal procedures. Resellers can certainly bundle some of their other services. So we've worked with organizations where we'll be part of a solution that they'll bring and resell. So, as you've probably heard through many of the other build sessions, we are tools and things like that developers and publishers and other organizations can use, but we're not always the only solution that they need to use. And so resellers can kind of bring us in together, and so kind of create this full kind of all-encompassing solution that helps answer that customer need and allows them to build and become successful. So those are some of the things that the resellers bring to us. So what can we do to help give these resellers tools to allow them to be successful? We leverage the same training and sales enablement tools that our own sellers have. So to be able to help our resellers be successful, they need marketing materials and sales tools and education and the like. And so we leverage those same exact tools to distribute out and work with our reseller partners. And so it helps them become a direct extension of our exact sales teams. And then it's enhancing their revenue opportunities. They get the access to Mapbox's great services and products that they can sell. And so this helps build up their portfolio of products, thus increasing their revenue opportunities. So looking at this type of program where we work with resellers, it becomes mutually beneficial. And so kind of that true sense of being a partner that both organizations will benefit from and things. And so Again, we can touch on some additional questions as we get to the end around resellers, but let's move into another area of a key component of things that we're doing is working with system integrators. And so an organization that is building solutions and whether it be industry focused or just broad ranging software solutions that we will work with these system integrators that will leverage our software and services and data and build out something that the customer requests. Mapbox is certainly has a large amount of services, allowing people to build, but then we might lean on and need a partner that would help us and build a solution for one of our customers, so that partnering with the system integrator type partners that we'll have. Again, in very similar fashion to resellers, there is a co-sell opportunity where we will work together with these system integrators and go into an account and kind of build out a full solution beyond just, hey, you might need nav SDK and search capabilities. Well, you also need, this is how you should build something, and then we leverage this SI partner to actually go build and understand what's needed and come up with, I use this silly analogy of a Reese's peanut butter cup of sorts that work, some of us is chocolate and the other part's peanut butter, and we come out with this great finished solution by working with a partner. And so kind of corny, but I kind of keep going with the Reese's peanut butter cup. And then we'll also leverage marketing opportunities, whether we attend we're going into an industry event, and so we'll talk about that through some of our social channels and promote the relationship through there. We'll attend industry events together, so we'll be part of maybe an SI booth where they're touting their services, and then we're there to support supporting our services and helping educate their customers and things like that. And so and then again, they have great development resources. We have great solution architects on our side, and so we'll collaborate together with those as well, and so be able to really talk through what is the need of the customer, and then bring our peanut butter, the SI's chocolate, and then create this great solution for the customer and things like that. And so that generally speaks to our system integrator partnership. And in the spirit of time, I think I'll pass this back to Marina to talk a little bit about our dev network for now.
Sure. Yeah, you're making me really crave Reese's peanut butter cups right now, Dan. So
yeah, on the East Coast, we're getting close to lunch, so maybe it's not the perfect analogy.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to our developer network, certainly related to the type of partner like a systems integrator, but maybe more like an SI light. Maybe you need to, maybe a client needs to hire a developer for some support on how to, build a custom implementation with Mapbox. Maybe they don't have developers on staff. We often get a lot of questions at Mapbox. Hey, can I hire someone at Mapbox to build this for me? And Mapbox doesn't provide those sort of custom implementation services directly. So what we do have instead is the developer network, which is a directory of vetted developers who build with Mapbox, have a proven track record of building great projects with Mapbox, and they are available to contract for those custom implementations. And those might be relatively small one-off, like, hey, I just need a simple web map for my site, and I just want to hire someone for X number of hours just to build this for me, all the way through to full-on firms and agencies who have very developed projects with you and will do a whole scope of work and work with you for many years. So it's quite a varied directory. Mapbox just hosts the directory. The conversation happens directly between the potential clients and the developers themselves. So Mapbox isn't involved in the conversation, the relationship beyond that, just initial kind of matchmaking. Benefits of being part of the developer network. primarily visibility. We hear from members of our DevNet that it's a good source of inbounds for them, and source of projects and new clients as well. It does add some credibility to you advertising your Mapbox implementation services to be able to point to, yep, hey, I'm part of the Mapbox developer network. I'm here in this directory. So definitely, if that's something you haven't checked out before, we are still adding new developers to that network. So you could definitely reach out and see about applying to join there if that's more of a fit for the kind of partnership relationship you're looking for, rather than something like an SI or a reseller. And then I also just wanted to touch on something that often comes up under the umbrella of partnerships, because partnership can be a little bit of a broad term. I have been with Mapbox for many years, specifically supporting our social impact organizations. And so we do have basically impact partnerships, a different kind of relationship, but we want to support anyone who's using Mapbox tools for positive social or environmental impact. We're here to help you, whether that's through access to discounts for nonprofits, dedicated support and advice through my team. We provide a dedicated channel to connect with advisors at Mapbox and get some guidance on how you as a nonprofit or an impact organization can work with us. And also we raise the visibility of our nonprofit and positive impact partners by championing what they've been building with Mapbox. And also we can refer our nonprofit clients to other folks who can help them build. So think of us as kind of a guide to the world of Mapbox if you are that type of organization. I know that there are some dedicated supports for you at Mapbox. With that, I'll hand things back over to Dan just with some closing thoughts, and then we'll move to Q&A. So please do share your questions in the Q&A box.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks, Marina. Yeah. And as you touched on, right, there's the word partner is used a lot across, a variety of interactions and relationships and things like that. And so, it here at Mapbox, it certainly touches a lot of different areas. And so in that theme of why partner with Mapbox in a way, right? And so what's the benefits of doing some of those things? And as you see here, you get access to our technology. As you've heard throughout the week, and seen that that Mapbox certainly is a leader in location data navigation, anything related to geospatial and things like that. And so you get access to our large suite of products and services that ultimately then you could utilize to support your customer needs, or as I touched on, we can do that together. And so a lot of reasons to really think about how we can partner and things like that. And so flexible partner models, some of our partners have everybody seems to sometimes have a slightly different model and a need, and we're very adaptable to that. And again, the same theme of throughout the week that we are very supportive of our customers, our partners, and the needs that they have. And so it's not do it this way, and this is the way you have to conform to. We will work on things and create a program that matches the needs of both of us in a way. And so again, with that idea of the definition of partner, kind of making sure that both of us have a benefit coming out of it. And so we're very flexible in that regard. Dedicated partner support. We have a very robust group that can support you from development, from business models to sales training and marketing and things. And so there's a large network of sorts, within Mapbox of being able to provide partner support. We're probably, and I'll kind of stand on this, we're probably a little more nimble than some other organizations because of that. That literally the kind of the DNA of Mapbox is to partner and work with our to build our relationship. So I think that also helps us be a little more dedicated to providing the best support to you all. And then as I touched on this co-marketing and co-selling, we love to talk about stories that showcase our customers and partners' success. So whether that be a blog post, a social media post, we will do webinars. We bring partners in for part of our internal customer engagement sessions where we'll feature a partner internally and talk about. And so we kind of evangelize and educate internally there. So a lot of different areas and reasons where we both can build up something that we can be successful on. And so now shifting to if there are some questions, and we'll throw up on the screen, how do you get in touch with us related to either of the or any of the things that we had talked about? So both of our contact information is here that we can reach out. And then we do have a question of, and I don't believe you see these, so I'll read this aloud real quick. Is there a Mapbox marketplace for solutions that extend Mapbox capabilities? And so I think meaning that sorry, I thought that was a follow-up to that same question. So I don't know, yeah, so essentially we are utilizing marketplaces that allows our customers or end customers to be able to purchase and get access to our solutions. And so I think it's kind of replicating what we do have is if you would contact us directly. And it's kind of replicating the same capabilities out in the marketplaces. Another question, and please put in if that did not directly answer that question, or follow up through that email if that didn't directly answer that question. So another question, how should one start a conversation about being an SI or system integrator partner? Reach out to myself through either, that partnerships@mapbox.com email, or mine is just, first dot last name. So dan.ryan@Mapbox, and would love to explore, what we can do together, because I think there's extreme value in that dev partner, that system integrator partner. So another one, we are working within prop tech space. We built several RE portals by now using Mapbox and are currently migrating 2 other portals to Mapbox. We have a big sales plan and all new websites will include Mapbox. Are we system integrators, or shall we register within the dev network? I think maybe we can keep that going, maybe reach out and we can talk through that. But in my initial thought, without fully digging into that, I think you might fall more into, if we're going to categorize you into that system integrator, you're utilizing our services to kind of build into your finished solution. So I kind of think you might fall into a system integrator, not trying to overly concern you or something that labels you differently, but just my initial reaction might be that. But happy to certainly talk through what you think best fits and how to best support you, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the good news is Dan and I work closely together. So if you do reach out to one of us and actually we think you should be talking to the other one, we'll just introduce you to the other person. So no worries, reach out to either one or both of us, and we'll figure it out with you.
Yep. So what's the best way
from Anthony? Hi, Anthony.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So what's the best way for folks in the developer network or other partners to get up to speed on upcoming features and the roadmap? That's a great question. Dan, I know we've been chatting a little bit about how to do this. Do you want to share some thoughts?
Yeah, so I think that is an area we probably could get better on. We've touched on creating a newsletter, creating more of a portal that our partners would log into, and so have basically access to all of these tools and education and things like that. And so I think there's a couple areas there where we can get better, and honestly, even open to thoughts of ways that you'd like to hear more from us, and better ways that we'd communicate to you through that. But yeah, I think newsletters and certainly maybe providing you areas where you can access your own all this education in your at your own leisure and things that it would be available to you through more of a like an online portal within mapbox.com. So
Yeah, and I'll add too from kind of more over the DevRel side of things. This is definitely very much top of mind for us for all developers in terms of providing more technical training workshops and those types of resources. So I think it's quite likely that you'll start to see us offering some more technical workshops like that, and that would give us a great opportunity to offer exclusive content to partners and developer network members. So one thing I'll plug is following Build, you're going to get a feedback survey, and we're going to ask you for some ideas in terms of what sorts of content or trainings you would like to see. Please tell us, and that will directly shape the sorts of offerings and training programs that we put together next year.
yep.
Let's see, other questions. We've got a question, oh great, on the social impact side. Question is, we're not an official 501c3 nonprofit, which is a registered nonprofit in the United States, but we are a positive impact community organization. Can we still get support from Mapbox? Yes, the good news is we've got a very flexible support program for positive impact organizations. So you do not have to be technically a registered 501c3. You can still get in touch with us. Or if you're coming from somewhere else in the world, get in touch and we'll figure out a customized support plan with you. Okay, we've got a follow-up. Yeah, related to that point about training workshops. The question is, are there certifications or training programs for official Mapbox partners? Is that something, maybe certifications that's you're thinking about, Dan?
Yeah, and so you've certainly seen many other organizations, even the big cloud providers, and you're a gold certified and things like that. We are not at that stage of sophistication, I guess, around certifications and things, but we are utilizing essentially, as we think of partners and resellers as and SIs and the like, of an extension of our sales team. We're utilizing the same tools and resources that we have for our own direct sellers, which is part of that. We have a pretty robust training program. There is certifications that we have that just allows everybody to feel comfortable when they're out talking about Mapbox and the like, so that they can leverage the same things that our direct sellers have. So as we go and work and onboard a partner, those same mechanisms do come into play, as I just touched on. So there are programs for that.
Great, thanks, Dan. Yeah, and I do see one final question before we're out of time, just how can I join the developer network? So you can reach out to me if you have questions about it, or you can just submit a direct application to join. If you go to mapbox.com/developer-network or search for the Mapbox Developer Network, you'll see a little button where you can submit a form to apply. But I would encourage you to reach out as well. Just drop me an email at community@mapbox.com and we'll chat with you. So that's it. We're out of time. Thank you everyone for joining us today, especially everyone who shared questions. Big thank you to Dan for chatting with us, sharing his plans in the partnership world. Hopefully you'll be able to connect with us and explore your partnership plans as a follow-up in this session. So up next later today, if you're joining from the US, or tomorrow morning, if you're outside of the US, we have our very first Ask Me Anything session, which is always good fun. Lots of good technical questions from developers. And then tomorrow we have our Mapbox Developer Show and Tell, which is the first time thing we're doing at Build this year. Definitely going to be very cool projects being shown off. And our second Ask Me Anything session tomorrow. So I'm really excited to join those sessions. I hope you are too. Don't miss them. And remember that every session you join live, you get another chance to win Mapbox swag. Any closing words, Dan?
No, I kind of typed in, thanks for everybody for participating, and enjoy the rest of today, enjoy the rest of Build, and please reach out. I'd love to have any of these exploratory conversations, and so looking forward to speaking.